sedíme v karavanu s Brother 1, Brother 2, Brother 3, což jsou chlapci, kteří dělají Broforce a určitě nás hrozně zajímá, kde vzali inspiraci pro tuhle hru.
Broforce is kind of a homage to action movies. Well, it's obviously a homage to action movies, but as well, at the same time, some of the games that were popular around that time, like Contra and Metal Slug, these run and gun games, which kind of had action heroes in them already. Like Contra basically had Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger in them, well, kind of as their characters. They were kind of, it wasn't a parody. It was just kind of, it was the same sort of culture and the same audience. And I grew up with those games and those movies, and it's kind of, it was something I'd been fiddling with in like a couple games, and kind of I tried to make a time cop game. It didn't really work. And then there was a jam, and me and Jared kind of started this thing going, we're gonna make, you know, a random game. It's gonna have Rambo in it, and it's gonna have like all these action heroes, and it's like, that's a cool idea. Let's just do that, and it turned out to be really fun.
And it is like it's our personal work anyway. Like, this is the stuff that we do in our like spare time. So our inspirations were obviously like old games like Metal Slug and Contra, and then 80s and 90s movies, action movies. Basically, if a character solves his problems with violence, that's where we get our inspiration from. Yeah. And also from new titles though. I mean, Spelunky, Super Time Force is amazing. Infinite SWAT was a big inspiration for Broforce. Yeah.
Jaký druh herního zážitku chcete hráčům předhodit? Spíš kooperaci, anebo vzájemné zabíjení?
A bit of both. We've like focused on cooperative from the beginning. Like, we wanted to make a great game that you could sit on the couch with your best friends and just like blow stuff up and have a great time. Drink beer, yeah. But we've also like woven some interesting mechanics into it that let you sort of jab at your friends and humiliate them a little bit, but not too much. Like you have to complete the level together cooperatively, but at the end, only a couple of people can usually make it onto a helicopter, so it's every man for himself.
I just wanted to add to that. I think it's important to us in terms of like the co-op play that there's never a problem in Broforce that you can't shoot your way out of. It's not, you're never gonna be able to antagonize your like fellow player in such a way that they will lose a resource or be unable to complete the mission. You can never really set someone back. So it does allow for a bit of playfulness when you're playing, especially amongst experienced players. I think one of my favorite compliments we received of Broforce was that someone said it felt to him like playing Contra when he was young, and that's really the experience we wanted. It's not Contra, and I don't think if we play Contra now we have the experience we had it when playing young. But there are deathmatch modes as well. So if you do really want to just shoot your friends, that's totally an option, and we support that.
It's really like a childhood fantasy to try and figure out who would win in fights between like RoboCop and like Brohard, or pit like Ash Brolims against Bro Dread. It's like very interesting dynamics, and because there's like so many bros now, I think currently there's 22. Like, there's so many different permutations of matches you can have and matchups, and you're always trying to like find a way to counter someone's attack. And also with the cooperative play, like, because you're keep unlocking new bros constantly, your like lineup and roundup, or your lineup of bros that you're playing as keeps changing, so you keep having to find new ways to work together and exploit each other's like strengths.
Hele, vypadáte všichni jako milí hoši, ale vaše hra je dost o zabíjení lidí i sebe navzájem. Tak jak to teda je? Jste fakt takový hodňáci, anebo po nocích zabíjíte malé děti?
Do we like hurting people?
This is going out to public, right? Yeah, I mean, the game's about the game is definitely about like going in and shooting things, and it's kind of bloody and it's kind of gory, but it's. I like that the fact that it's still humorous. It's silly. It knows it's silly. It knows it is existing within, you know, this culture of like action movies. And they if you go back and watch them, it's kind of charming. They're kind of terrible, some of them, and also they really simplify a lot of things in kind of a wonderful way. It's just like this worldview. You can solve everything just by tearing your shirt off or pulling your cap backwards. And you know, I grew up with that. I'm really genuinely fond of that and wanted that in a game. So yeah, it's violence, but I hope I hope it's not a case of this like kind of malicious thing. It's more like recklessness and silliness and
Humor v Broforce mi trochu připomíná starý dobrý kanon fodr. Pamatujete si ho? War, never been so much fun.
Cannon fodder was a very big influence for me. I played a ton of cannon fodder. There's a bunch of things like being able to shoot corpses is like right out of cannon fodder. And the mook doors are right out of, you know, the doors that explode and pour terrorists out of them or on fire. It's right out of cannon fodder. So yeah.
Nemůžu se nezeptat, jste přece jen indie studio. Kolem vás jsou tady na E3 samé velkorozpočtové pecky. Jak se vám tu z Broforce daří?
I think you just gotta do what you love to do, man, and make good games and cross your fingers and hope for the best. I mean, it's not that simple, but like
YouTubers really help indies now. If you make a good game, there are lots of channels for exposure where sort of meritocracy, if you're good enough, people will play your game for free on YouTube and share it and spread it around. So yeah, as long as you're making good games, it's not hard.
I'd say good is like a sort of catch-all term. I mean, as long as it's a game that someone hasn't seen recently or offers something new or a new twist on something old, that's gonna be appealing. And like the internet and like YouTube, there's so many mechanisms that allow people to discover games that they're interested in now.
Steam is a really good platform as well. Greenlight was that's when like people really started to see Broforce. And yeah, if it wasn't for places like Steam, it would be generally really hard to compete with.
Yeah. It's also really great for gauging interest in your game. So getting through Steam Greenlight indicates that it's worth pouring more time and money into this project, and that there is a market for it. So it's a good vetting system.
It's also nice to know when the thing you're doing is shit as well.
Nice to know,
but it's not nice to know, but it's very useful to know that. And and not everything. I mean, we've made terrible games together, and I've made a lot of them on my terrible games on my own as well. So yeah, early on we knew that Broforce was worth pouring some more time and love and money into it, and that made it really easy going forward. You know, if we hadn't had all of that feedback from Greenlight and YouTube and community, we wouldn't have known what to do, really. Yeah.
A Broforce se vám povedla a já díky za rozhovor.
Nice, thank you. Okay.